Welcome back, folks. It certainly has been a corker. Unfortunately, I had a hotkey set on my stream, and it actually controlled whether the stream goes live or not. So we lost a little bit of coverage. Do apologise, folks. But Panther will bring you up to date. Panther, update our glorious fans on what's been going on.
So a quick update. We had a little battle between Felipe Nunes and Mark 313. Felipe Nunes got overtaken Mark, but later on Flash and Mark got into a battle at Sector 2, and later on I saw Mark spinning around Sector 2, retired in the pits later on. So he DNF'd from this race, sadly enough. Felipe Nunes also got into the pit lane. We saw another few spins between, I think it was Andre and the Mercedes of Not So... yeah, so those were really the highlights that I saw. So
yeah, well, we're back live now with the action, folks. We will have it with you now, just getting it ready for you indeed. Obviously, lots going on as we can now join the action. Felipe Nunes now back in P13, as you can now see, making his way around this next left-hander. Of course, that swinging left-hander, that being turn 3. We're back in lap 9 here of 27. Do apologise for disconnecting there, folks. It was an issue with the hotkeys. We had them merged up to do the same job. Unfortunately, you can't do that. That does cause issues. We do apologise for the late drama. But as you can see, the penalties have littered across the grid order. Thyman still leading, though, by 10 seconds nearly to Flash. Of course, the update is Mark is out of the race. He was in P3 after being overtaken by Felipe Nunes. He is now down in P20 and out altogether. So that means now that Thyman is 10 seconds clear, 9.7 to be exact, of Flash 224. The Racing Point now in P2 here in the race. Only lap 9 to 27, folks. Still a long way to go. And the battles are just hotting up, aren't they, Panther?
yeah, indeed. We also have Veyron who overtook YMS in the Red Bull, who is coming into the pits right now. So that battle kept on going as well. But let's see what the tires will be put on the Red Bull. Normally it should be a medium tire, so yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's the medium tire that will go into the Red Bull of YMS.
Yeah, well, Ymes now coming out of the pit lane in P11, hopefully, if he can remain there, and I don't think he will, because Anchus, the Russian commentator, now up to P10. He's being chased, though, by Felipe Nunes, who's currently 0.4 of a second away from him now, and he's bombing up the stretch, overtaking the house here down towards turn 2, and indeed, it's gonna be Felipe Nunes! Phenomenal! Overtake there, smooth as you like, and that's just what you want to see. What a move there, Panther!
Yeah, I was watching this battle between Kalo and Daimo, who was pulling a mood around the outside of the third turn of the Sochi track. But this battle is still going. Look at this.
Absolutely unbelievable. But as you can see there from the replay, it was indeed Felipe Nunes pulling out all the stops here, overtaking the Haas. And as we rejoin the live action, you can still see Anchus there trying to close that gap. But it all seems to be infallible right now. 0.8 of a second separating that of Nunes and Anchus right now, and currently Nunes is going to be able to run away with this in the top 10 now after that pit stop onto the medium tyre. We'll see how that strategy fares into the end of the race as Diamond now overtakes Kalu there, heading down towards the next right-hander, but the Racing Point is far from done as they round the next left-hander. The McLaren and the Racing Point going in together in Sector 3, and Late Bragg nearly going into the back of the McLaren, and where Ace can try and sneak down the outside, he can't get it done. Rounding the outside now, he has the traction, heading down towards the next right-hander, that being turn 17, but no, he dives into the pit lane. Absolute seeds here in lap 11, and indeed, Kalo very nearly wiped out there as Felipe Nunes moves up yet another place. Phenomenal, Panther.
Indeed. Also a little update on Andre. I just talked with him and he has an issue with his wheel. Apparently his wheel broke, so he's now gonna try to rejoin in the race to retire his Ghost AI car at the moment, so that car will be pulled out of the way.
Well, we're now riding on board with Diamond, of course, who's now chasing VSR Thyman, who's just pitted onto fresh medium, sacrificing that lead that he has held right through this race. Flash is now leading the Sochi GP here at Russia. Diamond trying to close the gap, though. He's 10 laps on those mediums, and you can just see Thyman pulling away. He doesn't need those mediums to warm up whatsoever. This man is impressive, Thyman, I gotta say. In the Haas, he has had no trouble in this race, and certainly the way things are sitting right now, all he has to do is chase around Arsene Kardinov, who's still yet to pit. So is Lucho. Kruzic has amassed 10 laps on those softs, so is Flash. Those two are going to have to pit very soon. You've got to think that Thyman is definitely going to secure that P1 spot.
Yeah, unless there will be a safety car. I mean, you never know on this game whether there will be happening a crash or not. So it's gonna be interesting if those medium runners will try to keep on going, unless there will be a safety car going on.
There certainly will be, as we now see Thyman making his way around. A safety car would not help him whatsoever. But I got to say, right now, that's the least of his concerns as he rounds the final corner, heading into what will be his lap 12 and 27, moving up to P3 now, due to Flash sacrificing the lead, now dropping down the pecking order. So is Kruzic, and they're now going to be making their stops. But as you can see, you've got Kalo, Anxious, and Diamond, who have still yet to pit as well. So you've got to think that Flash and Veyron shouldn't have an issue to reclaim the positions they lost, and so does Kruzic. They will soon whittle their way back up through the classifications.
Oh, we got here a three-wide moment between the Force India and the two McLaren drivers. They touch into turn 4. The McLaren driver of Felipe Nunes is round.
Yeah, he's round, and I gotta say that's cost him massively. Felipe Nunes, who has been absolutely incredible this year, I gotta say, since he's joined here at ORL. He's just joined the social race here this evening, and he's been absolutely brilliant, but he's come a cropper there, and we'll just have another look at that, because that was absolutely unbelievable. I'm not sure quite what happened, but they seemed to go 4 wide, and we joined it pretty late on as Panther was calling it. This is obviously the coverage of Thyman making his way around the next right, but this is where we joined it, and as you can see, going round that right-hander, Diamond almost spinning his teammate off with Kalo in behind. Scenes there in that segment of the race, and that has cost Felipe Nunes barrels of time as we now see Diamond and Kalo battling again here, Panther.
Yes, indeed, it's getting pretty aggressive between those two drivers. They were going side by side, but Kalo got a little bit pushed wide, had to go off track, got off the throttle, otherwise he would go right into the wall on the left hand side. But he goes for a pit right now, so yeah, I think this is his first pit stop.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, it is. He needs to get those tyres changed because he's amassed almost, I think, around 11 laps on that compound, so he needs to get those taken off. A fresh pair of boots or a fresh set of boots put on that car indeed. Veyron now trying to whittle down the time on Anxious. We've got another car round as well, and that's Flash. He's off the track. Flash is off the track. He rejoins in 10th place, but for how long? Because Bushy Ants has just passed him as well. Bushy Ants into the top 10. Hellacious performance there from the YouTuber. 2 laps on those mediums, so he's got a long way to go on those. He could probably go to the end. Looking further up as well, Waimez in P7, chasing that of Felipe Nunes, who is trying to really enforce a dynamic recovery here as Kruzic now eyes up a potential move on Waimez himself. He's got fresh mediums on, so we got a very fair fist fight here between the likes of Felipe Nunes, Waimez and Kruzic as well. But Felipe Nunes, you have to wonder, Panther, has he got any flat spots on those medium tyres?
I think there will be, because he was drifting hard on those medium tires, I mean, to get that car around, but he's out of ERS, his light is flickering, as you can see from the POV from Waimez. He's going for the move around the outside. Can he make it? Felipe Nunes squeezing him. Oh, they touch.
No, but Kruzic can, and Felipe Nunes going for a wide. They're indeed, I gotta say, very defensive moves there from Felipe Nunes. But Kruzic and all the drama has gone up a spot, and Flash has been relegated down to P9, or Waimez, sorry, down to P11. Flash has moved up to P9. Anxious has managed to overtake him as well. Seeds here in lap 14. No one expected that. Kruzic doing the sneaky thing, moving around and gaining a place. He's now going to march on Felipe Nunes here. Grounding turn 1, heading down towards turn 2. It's all too easy. The Alfa Romeo now packing a punch here into the second corner and gets it done. A great move there from Kruzic. He took advantage and has done the job. What a move there, Panther.
Indeed, this is very good for Kruzic, who will now get to the other McLaren driver of Diamond. Will try to close that gap. And then there is this another 1.5 second gap between Veyron and Diamond, but then there is this 12-second gap between him and Timon, so that's gonna be hard to close for sure.
Certainly is, but this could be a stupendous recovery here from Kruzic, who we just saw the replay of overtaking Felipe Nunes, who is, I've got to say, a formidable force when it comes to driving on track. These guys have done so well to cope with the conditions here at Sochi. It certainly is a very tricky track to master. Lots of flat corners, not a lot of traction in many cases, as Felipe Nunes now tries to regather himself and battle ahead against Kruzic. Flash also gaining time on Bushians, who's in trouble. Oh my word, a tap in the back, and Bushians very nearly sent it to the wall. Flash holds back. That could have been really dangerous there for Flash indeed. Not ideal whatsoever. Virtual safety car as well, so the delta time has got to come down. But Bushians very nearly sent into oblivion there.
I have no idea what happened there, but yeah, we just saw that Veyron got a little bit of the second last corner to go back into the pit lane. He was tempting to go for the pits, considering if he would go in or not, but apparently he just went back in, going for that softer tires back again. Will the strategy work, you think?
Well, could do. I mean, Veyron's coming out of the pits now on fresh soft tyres, so he's going to have at least the next 7 laps to be, well, I'd say at least the next 7 laps to be really dynamic. But bear in mind, he's got a long way to go in this race. Like, he's got at least another 13, and bear in mind, the softs will probably last him around 7 to 10 laps. He's got to make the most of the grip while he has them. It's a bold strategy, I've got to say, but Panther, has he done it too early?
I don't really. I think he lost for sure a little bit of time, but there's still 12 laps to go. And if there will be another safety car, then he will be a good. It will be a good call to go for that softer tires. But I don't think that it will be an advantage if you pit right now for another set of soft tires, because many of the drivers already pitted, and it's hard to close that gap on 12 laps.
Yeah, I got to say, it's a very bold move. I'm not sure whether it's going to pay off for him. I mean, he's currently 2 seconds in behind King Mash, and he's really whittling it down. So he's lumberjacking at that delta time. He's down to 1.8 seconds at this moment. King Mash as well, currently within a second of Ware Ace, so he has the DRS, and so that'll make things very difficult for Veyron to close the gap on him there for P8. So we'll have to see how that affair ticks off, as Felipe Nunes has not left the rear end of Kruzic, and will have DRS down this main straight here, heading out into lap 16, as you can now see the McLaren now rounding the next right-hander of turn 1, heading down towards turn 2. You can see in front there Kruzic getting closer and closer, getting within that 6/10 gap, but no move can be made yet. Felipe Nunes doing wonders despite having another 4 laps on his tyres.
Indeed, we also, the virtual safety car was really also a lucky time for Lucho and Cardinov, who are still on those medium tires, who still have to pit yet, so it will be very handful if they could have pitted under that virtual safety car, but it just came out a little bit too late for them.
Yeah, just a little message. I got to say, Daniel Gamer has been in the live chat. He's asking, is this a league race? No, it is not, Daniel. It in fact is our Thursday Thunder event. We hold regular open lobbies every Thursday, and it's a good opportunity for the drivers to sort of get to know ORL, an opportunity for us to see them, as we now see Veyron actually rounding King Mash and overtaking him there. He's now going to have a go at Ware Ace for P7. Might get it done actually before the next right, but he's going to stick in behind and be patient here, which is probably not a bad thing considering he has all the pace right now, and he can use turn 11 to gain an advantage as he rams the next left-hander, or the next right, sorry, round the left-hand side there of the Renault, and gets it done. A great move indeed, and here comes Bushians as well. I'm sorry, not Bushians, King Mash rounding the next left into the next right, and here he comes, King Mash stuck right behind Ware Ace, who is dropping by the second. And I gotta say, Panther, it's been a phenomenal lap this one, and indeed Veyron counter on it. He's got 2 places this lap alone. Phenomenal scenes.
Indeed, and the battle isn't done here between King Mash and Ware Ace, because King Mash is right behind Ware Ace, who is driving at his home GP at the moment, because he's a Russian as well, so it's gonna be interesting if Ware Ace can fight this off and keep that P8 position.
Yeah, well, Veyron using the new softs. Arsene Cardinov has done the same strategy as well. He's pitted up for fresh softs here with 10 laps left to go. So Arsene Cardinov is going to go for it here. As you're going to see him trying to hightail it on Bushians now. Oh my word, a thump in the back. The input plate went flying. And Arsene Kardanov, after that stop on the softs, might have just ruined that there, as he now looks down the inside of Bushy Ants. But that was absolutely, I could not believe what I just saw. He knew that Bushy Ants was in front of him. That was a very, very strange move indeed.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking at Kardanov because Kruzix right now is within half a second of Felipe Nunes for that second place.
He is literally 0.3 of a second now. Look how close he is. Felipe Nunes, who has got a penalty. He's amassed 8 laps on his mediums. Kruzich only on 4, half the length of time on his compounded tyre as they round the next right-hander, indeed in tandem of that of Felipe Nunes, heading down towards the next right, which will be turn 17. Turn 18 will beckon before they rejoin here in lap 18 will be their lap 18. VSR Thyman leading the way, and he's done it clear. He is 20 seconds at least clear of Felipe Nunes, but the battle rages on for the podium spots as Kruzich winds up. Just look at that pace on an Alfa Romeo. His teammate Lucho on fresh softs, looking to do 2 in 1 here. Round the main straight, cuts the corner. This allows Kruzich off the track. Felipe Nunes bounces back into P2. Kruzich must be damning his teammate right now. Lucho and Kruzich meant to be working together. No constructors points here today. They're going at it like a pair of vicious boxers right now as Luke Kruzich swarms all over the back of Lucho. He did not like that, Panther.
Yeah, not at all, but Lucho is on the softer tires right now, so he pitted. So in my opinion, if this was a real race, I would let Lucho go because he will have this strategy advantage for sure, and he can go for that second place now. But Kruzich just has to follow now Lucho to get that McLaren driver.
Absolutely. Well, for Felipe now. Felipe Nunes under pressure. Lucho on the fresh soft, showing them how they work here. Round to the next left, and the Alfa Romeo pounces on him and claims P2. He's got 20.5 seconds to find on Thyman. They've lost half a second in that battle that they had together. So Thyman now increasing his deficit, doing extremely well holding on to that P1. But Felipe Nunes, who's amassed 9 laps on his mediums, both him and Lucho carrying penalties. If Kruzich could stay within the delta time here, he could actually get P2 on the basis of penalties.
Yes, indeed. So let's see what Lucho now can do because he has a time penalty. I'm gonna check right now. He only has a 3-second time penalty. So he has to try to pull a gap between him and Kruzix because Felipe Nunes has also a 3-second time penalty. So that position wouldn't matter at the moment.
No, not at all. We're now seeing Kruzich around the next left. Felipe Nunes still holding on to P3. Flash has moved up to P8 after overtaking King Mash. As we now see Kruzich around in the next right-hander. Felipe Nunes in P3. He is unable to catch that of Lucho, who on his newer soft tyres is looking incredibly quick. He's already managed to knock off that half a second. Felipe Nunes running very wide there, nearly hitting the wall. And I got to say, this could allow Kruzich even closer to that podium spot. Alfa Romeo could get a double podium here today. P2 and P3 up for grabs. And certainly Felipe Nunes has got it all to do. One reason being that he's got a penalty, and another reason being Kruzich has got fresher tyres, Panther.
Exactly, and as you can see, Lucho has already pulled a 2-second gap between him and Felipe Nunes himself. So if he can pull a 3-second gap between him and Kruzich, he got that second place secured.
He has, and if he gets it done here and now, it'll certainly go a long way to his repertoire this season. And certainly as Kruzich makes his way around the next right, Kruzich, we know, is prominent in the top tier of ORL. We've seen him before. He has battled with the best, and he's going to need his best here to get into the podium. A little wiggle there of the car, heading around the second to last corner, heading around the final bend now to commence their lap 20 of 27. 7 laps remaining here, folks, and certainly it has been a corker. Kruzich trying to smooth up. They're on Felipe Nunes. They're down towards turn 2. And indeed, the Alfa unable to get it done, at least for now, but he's closed the gap. 4/10 of a second to find. With the DRS detection now becoming available to him, he might still yet get the job done here in lap 20 as they come around the next left. Indeed, it's not doable just yet, but surely it's all to do. Certainly Kruzich has every chance here, Panther.
Exactly, and right now we had Lucho going for another 3-second time penalty. So he has 6 seconds after his name, so he has to pull a 6-second gap between him and Kruzich and a 3-second gap between him and Felipe Nunes to secure that second place position.
Yeah, well, currently now Kruzich 7.5 tenths behind Felipe Nunes. who is still holding on to that P3, and he's going to do his best to, but he's currently within the time of the penalty deficit, because certainly Kruzic can overtake him here, but on the basis of the track ruling, as we can now see Felipe Nunes locking up the tyres. So does Kruzic round this next right-hander, round the next left. The puffs of smoke coming out of the front end is certainly not going to help them both as they come around the next left, round the next right here in sector 3. The time being whittled down. Oh my god, a shake there from Felipe Nunes. The traction on those mediums must be really sloppy. He must have got a flat spot off that spin. They certainly haven't helped his degradation on his tyres as they now start lap 21 into 27. 6 laps remaining, Panther. I cannot bear to watch.
Exactly. It was so close between Felipe Nunes and the wall before. Otherwise, you could have shunted off his front wing or maybe even his tire. So he got a little bit lucky with that little wiggle, I would say, in sector 3. So he holds third place for now.
He does. Well, Kruzic is still stuck in behind the McLaren, and certainly Felipe Nunes has been impressive, at least to hold on to his on-track position. You get the feeling, though, that he's going to lose it unless Kruzic gets a penalty himself as they ran the next right-hander. Viron collecting a 3-second time penalty himself. His race was looking ever prominent. He had soft tyres on, like I said before. He may have pitted a little too early, but he's got a penalty to add insult to injury as well. So Flash, if he can get closer, he could have a chance of moving up into that P6 spot, but we'll soon see. As we're now seeing Kruzic in P4, currently 0.6 of a second within the DRS line now, as they head round this main straight, heading round the next left-hander, and indeed Felipe Nunes getting closer with every moment. The Alfa Romeo breaking late in order to close the gap. No lock-up this time as they round the next left-hander into sector 3. The McLaren at the mercy here of the Alfa Romeo, and you get a feeling that Kruzic could get the job done on track here, Panther.
I think time will tell for sure, because he's really getting more closer, but he has to be super close for that last corner like he is right now, because the last few times he was 6 or 7 tenths off him and he wasn't close enough, but I think he's now close enough to go for a move.
Well, here we go, the pace on Kruzic, he's lighting up Russia, here comes the Alpha, down the inside, indeed into turn 2, he sends the McLaren out wide, but still defending there from Felipe Nunes, unbelievable, but a virtual safety car means they have to slow down the Delta pace, and that means that indeed Kruzic will have to stay in P4 at least for the time being. Felipe Nunes needs a great restart if he wants to hang on that on-track P3 position, but of course, it's all up for realms of speculation. 5 laps left to go. Is Kruzic going to be too strong for him?
I'm not too sure, because Felipe Nunes seems to be having a good straight line speed on the straight, so it's tough to overtake someone who is running less wings than you, for sure, on a track like this. So let's see what he can do as we go now for the restart.
Yeah, the restart now. They're back ahead now, racing under green light conditions now, as we can now see Kruzic trying to catch up once again with Felipe Nunes, putting the pressure on that orange McLaren. He has still got 5 laps to find. It might be the case that Kruzic is quite happy to sit behind Felipe Nunes to gain that P3 spot, but indeed, it's always nice to get it done on the track, as we now see them make their way up towards the next left-hander. Felipe Nunes doing all he can to keep this Alfa Romeo at bay. He has done well, considering he's amassed 13 lap-old medium tyres against Kruzic's 9 lap-old mediums. You get a feeling that Kruzic is going to want to try and light things up now here in lap 23 of 27 as they head round the final corner. Now the DRS will become active again. You'll get a second chance. Here comes Kruzic. You can see the McLaren getting closer. Sochi alight here in Russia as we now see Kruzic try and move up alongside. Gets the move done on the inside. Can he get it through turn 2? He does. Phenomenal move there by the Alfa Romeo. Sterling stuff. And he will get P3 on the track.
Exactly, what a move from Kruzic, who finally gets the move done on Felipe Nunes. But now is the thing, can he pull off from Felipe Nunes into the corners out of that DRS zone, or will Felipe Nunes get a revenge attack to get that podium spot back?
Well, at this moment in time, as we watch that replay of Kruzic snatching up that P3 spot, he is now clear of half a second. Indeed, on Felipe Nunes, who is now going to be straggling. That time penalty is not going to help. Veyrod coming at a rate of knots, but I don't think it's going to be enough to concern that of Felipe Nunes. Lucho, though, has knocked off 2 seconds off the time of Thyman, but he's got a penalty as well, so it's all for nothing at this stage. Thyman, though, what a great race he's had. And like we said before, he's followed up on his incredible qualifying with yet again a phenomenal race as well, Panther. He's been absolutely sterling here today.
Exactly. I mean, if you stay out of trouble and out of any fight, you can just pull away, do your own thing, and keep your own pace consistent. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he has no penalties as well. So it's a phenomenal driving from the VSR driver.
Certainly is. VSR are going to be delighted with their man here tonight, winning the very first Thursday Thunder event here at ORL. It's been absolutely brilliant to see, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. We've still got 3 laps remaining here at Sochi. A lot can happen in 3 laps as Thyman goes for a little wriggle around the right-hander, but I don't think that'll trouble him too much. He's going to try and keep things at least momentarily safe. He is well clear at this moment in time, 18 seconds, along with a penalty to Lucho. Is going to go a long way, as we now see Flash, who's currently 2.5 seconds behind Bushians, who's got a penalty. He'll have a chance of going into P6. Looking further down, Arsene Kardonov, who's coming out the pit lane on 5-lap-old softs at this moment in time. Not sure whether he's looking to stop now. No, he's just leaving. So whether that's for a stop-go penalty, I'm not sure there, Panther.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but yeah, I'm just trying to get Flash back into the lobby. I think his game crashed for a little bit, or I'm not too sure what happened, but he already rejoined, as you can see.
Well, if you've enjoyed the race, folks, if you've enjoyed Thursday Thunder, don't forget we have got so much action here on the ORL channel to come this weekend. Saturday, we have got the very first ORL warm-up podcast with TRL Limitless joining us in the interview room here today. Of course, I'm calling my commentary box my interview room next, and I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be talking to James Doherty about his rise through esports, the formation of his YouTube channel, when he decided to turn YouTube into his main thing. Certainly he has dominated the realms of motorsports and esports in terms of a YouTube sense, and he's doing extremely well in terms of his work with Sauber as well. So please leave your comments in the chat window as well, as we now see Diamond all over the back of Ware Ace. A good opportunity for the McLaren to earn up a spot.
Yes, exactly. Ware Ace, who was going very wide at the penultimate corner of the Sochi track. So let's see if Diamond can go for a move. He's for surely very close enough. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, he rounds the outside, and indeed the McLaren, yes, very easy indeed. Ware Ace having to succumb to that of the McLaren, and indeed smoothly does it there from Diamond. Incredible stuff there, and that's exactly what we want to see here at Sochi. And he will move up into P8. A great move indeed, as we don't see it again. Ware Ace, of course, could do nothing about that. The soft tyres for Diamond working for him there, just a lot stronger than that of the mediums. And that's certainly gone a long way to him sealing the deal on that one. He's going to be delighted with that move.
Yes, exactly. As I was watching right now, Enchus, who lost his car into Sector 3, going into the pits for fresher tires, maybe to go for a fastest lap, although he got lapped right now by Timer, but I think he can do one more fast lap to maybe steal the fastest lap of Timer.
Yeah, well, very interestingly enough, I'm just rooming back up to Felipe Nunes. He's managed to close the gap once again on Kruzic. He managed to get within 0.3 of a second. So I'm not sure what happened to Kruzic there, Panther. But we've just seen Felipe Nunes getting closer and closer to the back of that Alfa Romeo. It looked like Kruzic was going to be sailing into the distance. But Felipe Nunes has kept up with him. Absolutely phenomenal. He's managed to actually bring it back. And he's still within that second mark, still using the DRS. So this is not over. I know the penalty still separates them, but Felipe Nunes, if Kruzic makes a mistake, he could be on for a podium still.
Yes, exactly. The race isn't done over for sure, because we have 2 laps still to go. So Kruzic's weather doesn't make any mistakes. As we has a yellow flag into Sector 1, Sector 2, because not so soon, I think I pronounced it like that, retired the car.
Yeah, he's out of the race. I think, in fact, we saw the debris from the incident, and indeed he is out of the race. The little bits of Mercedes livery dished out across the track as Felipe Nunes now only half a second behind Kruzic. Is this battle going to rage on? Is there going to be an opportunity here for Felipe Nunes to tag back against Kruzic for a potential podium? All Kruzic needs to do right now is stay in P3 or stay within touching distance of Felipe Nunes. You can see in the distance as well a Haas car there. I think that might be Anchus indeed. Currently at the back marker of the field, certainly behind the pace a little bit, but nonetheless, it's been absolutely unbelievable watching Felipe Nunes and Kruzic. They've provided so many great action points in this race, and I gotta say I've been very impressed with both of them, Panther. They've been absolutely superb.
Yes, exactly, and they are keeping their battles very clean as well, what we love to see, of course. So let's see if Felipe Nunes can pull off another attack on the Alfa Romeo driver, Kruzic, but I don't think he's close enough for going for a move at turn 2 right now.
Well, it's going to be a very tough, certainly a very tough ask for Felipe Nunes. The current situation not looking too good for him right now. Obviously, given the fact that the penalty is under his name. Not only that, he's got 4 laps advanced on his medium tyres as we now see Thyman round in the next right-hander. This man has been impeccable in this race here at Sochi. He's been absolutely tremendous. An incredible qualifying session followed up by an almost perfect race. He has been absolutely synonymous with P1 here today. He has not lifted a finger off the gas pedal. He has pushed every strength of the way. He has a little bit of a tail wag going around that left-hander as he now enters Sector 3 here for the last time. Thyman coming up towards the next right-hander. You can see the paddock on the right-hand side. The Haas team will be absolutely jubilant with this result here today as we now see Thyman coming around the final corner, and he will cross the line to take victory here at Sochi, and does it in style, crashes out. But that's a victory nonetheless. Vyasar Thyman is your winner of the Russian GP with Lucho, who will come round the corner in P2 with Kruzic really finishing it off. A perfect race for Alfa Romeo, nearly enough without the win. P2 and P3 to those two.
Exactly. Felipe Nunes was going to look for a move around the outside after the straight, but he couldn't pull it off, and as you can see, Kruzic just crashing right in the other parked cars. We also had the DNF from King Mash at the last lap.
We did. King Mash, in fact, is actually DNF'd out of the race, which is absolutely gutting considering we were on the final lap. Felipe Nunes in P4, he finishes up there. He had a great race considering it wasn't easy for him. He had that incident involving his teammate earlier on when they were battling in a 3-wide situation. But P4 is where he will stay. Veyron as well in P5. And Flash in P6. Bushy Ants rose right up the classifications to get a P7. A great drive from him.
We got also Cardenaf, who smashed his car at the last lap. Last corner right into the wall, but he didn't make it to the finish line, so now he will lose out his P11 to YMS, who just missed out that car from Cardenov.
That is devastating. We never see that. That allows Daniele I'm going to say Ricardo to claim that, or Ricaldo claim that P12 position. But what a win for Thyman. You got to say, Lucho claiming the driver of the day in accordance to the game, but I got to say, well deserved from Thyman. He was just a class above, wasn't he, Panther?
Yes, indeed. But I gotta say that it was close for driver of the day between Lucho and Thyman, because Lucho started from the second last place, I believe it was. So it's an impressive drive from him to come back to second place.
Imagine if he was P10, he might have won the race, as we now see.
Yeah, exactly.
Thyman there on the top step, accepts his victory there, certainly his trophy as well. Celebrates with the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers. Of course, they've all done themselves proud. A great race here for the first Thursday Thunder event. And we'll run through the final classifications indeed for this tremendous event. It has been absolutely phenomenal, folks. Vyasar Thyman is your clear race winner for Haas F1 team. Lucho in P2. And Kruzic there, after a stupendous drive there, claims the final podium position, P3 for the German. Felipe Nunes P4, Veyron P5, Flash P6, Bushy Ants P7, great drive. Wearace P8, Kalo P9, Diamond P10, Wymes P11, Daniele Ricaldo in P12, Arsene Karnov P13, but DNF'd in fact So that'll certainly raise a few questions. It didn't look like he finished. King Mash in P14, another DNF there as well. Tanish DNF'd, and Chusu was actually a lap ahead. Not Sumar, of course, DNF'd as well. Harry Rocks, we lost Andre as well, and Mark early on in the race. But that does clear up your race, folks. Phenomenal first Thursday Thunder event. I gotta say, we were treated to some phenomenal racing there. Just talk us through that, Panther. What did we just see?
I mean, it was a phenomenal drive from every driver out here, because we haven't seen a full safety car, and the first lap was also pretty clean up until sector 2 where I jinxed it, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good battle though between Mark and Lucho and Felipe Nunes, and of course between Kruzix and Felipe Nunes.
I got to say, I was very impressed with Felipe Nunes. I thought he was absolutely unbelievable. A very pacey driver, one to watch, I think, in the future as well. It'd be interesting to see where some of these drivers go from here. I've got to say, VSR Thyman, it's the first time we've seen him on PC. That's his first PC race ever, and he did it here at ORL, and he's won in his first league visit, or his first competitive race visit. What does this mean for Thyman? Are we going to be seeing him at the top end of ORL? Because he certainly looked to have the pace.
I mean, if he want to stay, for sure, I think he can match with the Split A drivers, because he pulled off a 20-second gap in the end, dominated the whole race. His pole lap time was half a second faster than everyone else, at least. So you gotta say to me that he really showed himself today, for sure, on his first race on the PC platform.
Yeah, absolutely stupendous. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table, I gotta say. It'd be interesting to see him battling it up against the likes of Jana Watmir. I think him and CRG Mathis will be a very very good contest. I think those two are very similar in pace right now. I think we could probably see Thyman and Mathis going together and maybe giving us a little bit of a clinic. I think it'll be very interesting indeed to see those two clash at in an ORL race, and we'll look forward to seeing where they go from here. But of course, folks, if you enjoyed that, of course, I'm not sure whether we're going to be having interviews at all, Panther. I don't think we've got any scheduled, have we?
I don't think we got any interviews at the moment, so
Well, I guess we close the book on it here then. I got to say, folks, thank you ever so much for supporting Thursday Thunder. This is going to be the first of weekly Thursday night events. Of course, we're back in our Thursday time slot here for some social races, of course, and it's always good to see the new potential drivers coming up through the ranks. A good way for us to survey them and find out a little bit more about them. And we'll look forward to seeing them as they progress. But of course, we've got so much to look forward to here in ORL. On Saturday, we have got an interview with James Doherty, the Sauber Esports team manager. And of course, he will be basically talking about his life. We're going to be hearing from TRL Limitless about how he pushed himself into esports as well, how he developed himself as a successful YouTuber. And we'll obviously listen with great interest as to where he predicts his future will be in the realm of esports, as it's a very growing, certainly a very growing industry, and we look forward to speaking with him. And of course, on Sunday, we have got the Russian Grand Prix here at ORL, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be off the chain, folks. We're looking forward to that. Certainly, we're going to have a lot of exciting drivers on the track. Certainly, your esports juggernaut, Jana Watmir, of course, already won the championship, but the Constructors is still up for grabs, so we'll look forward to bringing you the action there. But at least in the meantime, please leave a like and a subscribe to this video, and of course, support ORL for all future races and all future events. I've been George Morgan. He's been Black Panther. We'll see you next time for more ORL. Goodbye.